You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 246.
246, man. I am Hulkamania Ralph this week. Let me tell you something, brother.
I love it. I love it. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated, the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. If you want to follow us individually, I am the Mind of Ralph across your social media platforms.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_, the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Also, special shout out to WDJY-FM 99.1 in Atlanta.
ATL, ho.
Shout out to OS Gang down there in Georgia, man. Ralph. Round of applause, man. How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. You know what? I'm an old guy, man. I'm an old nigga, man. We always establish this every week. I skipped out on my caffeine today, so I almost missed my cue. When you was bringing up certain things, I was like, "Oh, it's something that's supposed to go there." Oh, my bad.
I heard that. Half a second pause.
That's what happened. I wasn't alert. I wasn't ready. I'm like, even though you say, "Hey, we about to record," like, look, still,
I always got to check before I hit record to make sure we good. We on the same page, but
it don't matter.
It happens. It happens.
Cool. I mean, but outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, life is good. Life is great. I ain't got nothing to complain about. Like, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing. Like I'll be working at home for 2 weeks, so I'm excited about that. But outside of that, ain't really too much else going on. I did want to ask you a quick question though.
Sure, what's up?
Joker 2 comes out in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You got your tickets yet?
Absolutely.
Because the tickets on sale.
I realized
I was just curious.
You know what? We in the space where I ain't got to do all that for the hype for movies are down. Like, I can just walk up to
true.
I can save myself the Fandango fee, goddamn. Like, just go straight to the box office. I haven't bought a ticket from a box office in a very long time.
Just for to say that it's been a while. It's been a while since I've actually walked up to the box office and say, "Hey, I want to go see this. Let me get the ticket."
Right, you pick your tickets at the little thing.
Yeah.
But I think the convenience of like Fandango or whatever app people use is just the fact that I can do it right here, and it's kind of whatever. And then Fandango gives you little perks and stuff.
Right.
But
right.
I don't really utilize them.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. And I can't remember if there's any other movies coming out soon that I really want to see. I mean, Joker 2 is on the list for sure.
Like, all I got is like, hell, honestly, I wasn't even worried about Joker 2. Like, I knew it was coming, but I wasn't.
Like, it possibly is not an opening weekend type of thing.
Yeah, like, even like as excited as I am for Gladiator, I ain't got to go see it open at night.
Yeah.
Like, I can just go see it. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Because I mean, even outside comic book inspired movies, right? Like, it's really nothing worth seeing. Honestly, I know you want to see Gladiator 2, but anything else outside of that? Not for like I don't even know what's coming out for real.
Well, I think movies are just down in general, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
that's what it seemed like.
If you're talking about a good box office draw, because there's no Star Wars going on right now, as far as I know. I think we're reeling from the stuff that happened with the writer's strike.
That's true.
I think that's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, and even to that point, there's still a lot of direct to streaming movies and also TV shows, big budget TV shows that are coming out. We got two this week, Agatha and the Penguin that you had to remind me about. So we got those too. So it's
like when you got like movies like Netflix, they got Rebel Ridge out right now, which is pretty good.
I heard about that. I haven't watched it yet.
Rebel Ridge is good. Rebel Ridge is pretty good. I mean, listen, man. You know what? We've gotten away from just a good action movie. Like it don't have to be all deep and complex. It ain't.
Right.
Listen, sometimes it's watch, repeat, and repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen this before, but
Right.
listen,
But look,
am I
different
drawn
actors?
into the character?
Yeah.
The character? Yes.
Okay. See, and that's on my list of movies to watch too. I just ain't got to it.
Rebel Ridge is legit, man. I
That's
think the
what's
only
up.
thing is sometimes it's kind of like I could tell where they cut like the the budget. It'd be like the fight choreography. It'd be a lot of hi-ya. Like, you can tell like 1, 2, 3, throw them, throw.
They did the choreography themselves.
Yeah,
like they
you
didn't
can
have a
tell-
coordinator.
Yeah, you can tell. Like it's like, oh, this is crazy. Like everything can't be John Wick. I get it, but
Fun fact about that: the guy that played the black guy that played the main character in that movie. Originally, at least this is
Britain. Oh yeah, boo.
at least from what I read, that was supposed to be John Boyega, but he quit for his own personal reasons.
Okay, and
So-
that's probably why it's straight to Netflix, huh? Well, no.
I think it was gonna be Netflix anyway.
Netflix.
It's just John
'Cause, I
Boyega
mean-
was supposed to be in that role.
You know, like quietly is like the king of like streaming movies.
Who was that?
Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
You just see him up in like random movies. It's like what? Like how did him and Halle Berry get a movie together? Like it's not even good. Like it's just
Hey man,
like you
it's
just
still
look up.
still a draw, I guess.
You look up, you just see Mark Wahlberg.
He's there.
He's there.
Ain't no Wahlburgers. It's just him.
Yeah, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro.
That's funny. Hey, listen, shout out to the fall is coming. So, that's when network television starts to pick up. We already
Yeah.
talked about football being back.
I mean,
so
Abbott, coming
Abbott
back.
Elementary,
Yeah,
man.
Abbott will be
I
back.
am waiting for it. And I can't remember the name of the show, but Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr. they have a father-son show coming out.
Is that on like NBC or something?
I want to say CBS, but it's
CBS?
one of those. It's one of those.
I think they like the Wayans over there at CBS. They be doing. I think ain't that who had the? No, Marlon was on NBC,
Mhm.
but like Damon had like the. It wasn't Lethal Weapon, or was it Lethal Weapon?
Might have been.
It might have been Lethal Weapon.
Mhm.
He was a part of that. So it's just like you keep seeing Damon Wayans Jr. in the cycle of certain things. No, that's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what's
So shout out to them, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, you want to get to it?
Man, hey man, off the dome.
Off the dome.
Hey man, that's funny, man. Speaking of the Wayans, Living Color, you know how we feel about the show. One of the greatest sketch comedy shows of all time,
For
originated in the 90s on the Fox network. But there's like, a few people that came from there, all-star alums, you would say. Who would you say is the biggest alum from the Living Color? And I'm only give you two people,
Okay.
Jim Carrey or Jamie Foxx.
Damn.
There's a couple of different ways I could have went with other people, but I'm just
because when you asked, I kind of saw where you were going. Instantly, I'm thinking David Allen Greer.
yeah.
But
Oh no, I said
I-
the biggest alum. Out
yeah,
of,
okay, I got you. So Jamie Foxx or Jim Carrey. This is difficult. Both very great careers after In Living Color.
oh yeah,
Jim Carrey definitely in the movie comedic space,
Mhm,
but Jamie Foxx, I mean, movie, TV, music, like
mhm.
man, as big as Jim Carrey's career was after In Living Color, I think I'm going to go with Jamie Foxx.
Mhm.
Only because of him being able to spread his entertainment throughout the industry, not only movies, being in some of the greatest movies with hell, he had a movie with not Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, Collateral, but also putting out amazing R&B albums, as well as having the Jamie Foxx show. So I think and being a comedian, stand-up comedian,
Mhm.
hosting gigs, things like that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Jamie Foxx.
I'll say Jim Carrey just for the sake of argument. I think that his career in Hollywood is just a little bit more, just a little bit better.
Mhm.
His I think he's considerably the box office draw. Like I don't think it's a debate. Like
Oh no,
Three-
absolutely.
and his star rose quicker just because of his in Living Color fame. I mean, he was the only white boy on there. Like,
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, but he was funny as hell. So Hollywood saw something in him. And then for 94 to be undoubtedly your year, like, those 3 hit films in 1 year. And then I think Jim Carrey acting is better than Jamie Foxx's because his comedic and his drama. Like, his drama is like top tier.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, and then Jim Carrey still kind of being more relevant, I think, in today's space. Like, I guess with the Sonic films and everything. Like that's a big budget.
you're
That's
right.
a big
That's
budget.
right.
That's
You're
a big
right.
budget film. No, trust me, nah, I ain't shitting on Jamie Foxx.
You right.
They ain't me shitting on Jamie Foxx. I just had to pick one.
No, right.
You know, we gonna get to that. You know,
But you know what's crazy? So you are absolutely right about those Sonic movies, but I'm also thinking about the Grinch too. The Grinch completely slipped my mind.
Yeah,
But,
I didn't even go Grinch,
Yeah.
but it's just I think the dramatic stuff, like the way he flipped in Cable Guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's a switch. Like and Jamie's a phenomenal actor too.
Damn.
But
Okay. When you go down the filmography.
yeah,
of Jim
like,
Carrey,
listen, I'm
it's
just
like-
doing the filmography
'cause
stuff
it's
because I
like-
can't. Because I mean, even though Jim Carrey has been a stand-up comedian, you can't name Jim Carrey jokes. You can't name a Jim Carrey stand-up, and that's because a lot of things that he did just predates when cameras were around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, no, seriously, you know what I'm saying? He just wasn't his stand-up, like he came from stand-up and then he got on Living Color and it just transitioned to other things. But no, he was originally a stand-up comedian. That's how he got on.
That's what's up. All right.
Yeah.
No, I fuck with that. Damn, shout out to Jim Carrey.
Shout out to Jim Carrey and Jamie Foxx.
Right. All right. So for my off the dome, first of all, I want to shout out my guy Glenn. Happy birthday. He actually gave me this question, so
okay.
I want to ask you. Right. So Bone Thugs and Harmony, one of the only groups to be able to collaborate with both Biggie and Tupac. So I want to ask you, based on the collaborations that they had with them, which song was better? We got Notorious Thugs or Thug Love? I know. This came up randomly. Like we was on the game, we was playing Diablo 4, and like I don't even know how this topic came up, but I thought this was a phenomenal question, so I had to bring it.
Oh my god,
I had to
because back then guest verses meant a lot.
Absolutely.
And you have two pretty great verses from both legendary MCs. Oh my god, I'm probably gonna say Biggie because it seems like Biggie tried to chameleon his flow to match what Bone Thugs did.
It's true.
And that's all I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
Right there. That's all I got.
So I mean, I'm in agreement, right? Now, Thug Love, oh my god. Okay, first of all, both are great songs. Right?
Yes,
let's get that out there, right? Thug Love, that beat is fire. Gunshots
and Pop's voice is kind of haunting. Like now that you think about it,
it complements that type of beat very well, right?
Yeah.
Accompanying a very great verse.
Yeah.
But I think overall, Notorious Thugs is the better song.
Yeah.
Especially with what you said with Biggie trying to chameleon his flow to what Bone Thugs do. Like it just, I think it turned out to be a better song. Both great songs, but Notorious Thugs to me is definitely the better song of the two.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I know, because he said, I was like, ooh, that's crazy. Yeah, gunshots.
Yeah,
gunshots.
Man. Oh man, that was crazy though, man. But no, man, people, that was off the dome, man. Out of these in Living Color alumni, who you going with, Jim Carrey or Jamie Foxx?
Yep. And then what's the better song, Notorious Thugs or Thug Love? Let us know.
OS Gang, what's happening, family and kinfolk?
What's cracking?
We got a few topics here on this OS News docket for this week, man. But we go start again on a sad and somber tip, man. Our people just keep checking out, and we're going to talk about it. First things first, man. Rest in peace to none other than James Earl Jones, who died at the tender age of 93.
Yeah, man.
Salute to the legend. And another rest in peace to Frankie Beverly, who passed away at the age of 77.
Yeah.
R&B legend. His voice is iconic, definitely being the lead singer of Maze. But Johnny, we had two OGs check out, man. What you got to say?
First of all, rest in peace to both of them.
Yes.
Both have provided of course, I can always speak to the Black community, but both have provided the Black community with such great entertainment. We all know James Earl Jones as Mufasa. Hell, even as one of the most menacing villains in film, Darth Vader. He's the voice of Darth Vader. And of course, as King Joffrey, Jofa, from Coming to America. So, and of course, his career spans 60 years. But
it's deeper than what those roles in.
Absolutely,
but he's one of the ones, man. He's a true OG.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, just him passing away at the age he did. Like, I mean, of course, we're sad that he's left us, but he lived a great life and had a phenomenal career. I think he won 2 Tonys, if I'm not mistaken, because he was on Broadway.
He's from that era.
Yeah, so
stage,
you know, very accomplished, right?
Yeah.
So it's you know, again, rest in peace. And then of course Frankie Beverly, man, the voice, the vocals, the Kickstarter to every cookout, to every black gathering, to every party, to every HBCU homecoming. Everybody does the electric slide to the music. Like, what our culture wouldn't be as impactful as it is without that, right? Without him, right? Without Frankie Beverly and Maze. So to be able to be a part of something so amazing, it's just great, man. It's just great.
But yeah, man, like more so on Frankie Beverly, because I think with a lot of our musical icons, we get so caught up in the ones that cross over, and it's great that they did, and you know, kind of become colorless, or kind of like, you know, I'm not black, I'm, you know, I'm who I am, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can look at, you know, the Jacksons, you can look at, you know, Prince, you can look at, you know, Whitney Houston, like, you know, certain people that just kind of fit a certain space, and they crossed over, and then they don't necessarily fit like black music, but somebody that just unapologetically made black music, and it was just he's always been for us. Frankie Beverly and Maze have always been ours, and no matter what, like, you may not look at the record sales, you may not talk about the accolades, but just talk about the music and the nostalgia that you have attached to it, the family memories, the, you know, the cookouts, like you said. Like, it's something to be said about those types of artists that just stay with us.
Absolutely. I feel like everybody has some type of fond memory to like We Are One playing in the background, like, or, you know, or any of those songs. Like, everybody has a fond memory of being at grandma's house, or being with your aunts and uncles, or being at homecoming, like somewhere where that music is playing. People have like a fond memory of it. So again, man, rest in peace to Frankie
and
Beverly,
I always
man.
liked how that Maze was a band, and they said featuring Frankie Beverly.
I know, right?
I was like, I thought he was just the fucking lead singer. Why we got to feature him? Like, that's crazy.
Like Gladys Knight and the Pips. Like,
that's crazy. But like you said, it's just old. And the outpouring of love for these two legends too just has been phenomenal. But it was a video where Ron Isley put out him embracing and showing, giving Frankie Beverly his flowers. I was like, hey, man, if something happened to Ron, man, I'm gonna need a day. I'm gonna need a whole day.
We all might.
I'm gonna need a day.
We all might, for real,
bro.
real, man.
But now, rest in peace to none other than James Earl Jones and Frankie Beverly.
Absolutely, absolutely, phenomenal careers, man. Phenomenal careers.
Yeah, man. Let's try to spin the block on this, man, because we talked about it really brief last week, because it was announced while we were recording, or shortly before. Kendrick Lamar is doing the Super Bowl 59 hit halftime show in New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
And the Twitter streets, the social media streets have been buzzing for literally a week. And there's no sign of slowing down, Johnny.
Not at all.
There's been a lot of backlash to Kendrick being a sole headliner. Many talks have been about Lil Wayne should have been the headliner. He's been snubbed. We have many hip hop and many outlets giving their takes on it. You had Nicki Minaj speak out, Cam speak out, Birdman speak out,
Wayne himself spoke out.
Wayne himself spoke out. So, Johnny, before you address like maybe those people speaking out, what do you think about the Lil Wayne snub? Let's start there.
If I'm being, see, I don't know if we really want to get to that first.
Okay, well, what do you want to talk about first?
So like, do you want to talk about okay, Nicki and Cam's reactions, and then how we actually feel, or do you want to talk about how we actually feel first?
Oh, how do I feel about what Kendrick getting it and not Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How do I feel? I don't feel no ways. I feel like Kendrick deserves it. Not to say Lil Wayne doesn't. And that was like, I remember I was arguing with a nigga for 2 days on TikTok about this. But I think when I say that we're blinded by nostalgia, Wayne's performance hasn't been up to par, people think that is a slight.
Yeah.
And we've made legends audition for 2 years to get this spot. Usher had to do a Las Vegas residency and prove that it was successful before he even got considered, right? And that's Usher Raymond IV. He sold 20. He sold all those records. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to do it. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not only that. So you're absolutely right in that point. And it's not only that. And speaking specifically to Usher, again, for those same 2 years, or maybe even a little bit before, his social media presence has been out of this world. I remember the slow motion videos of him skating in Atlanta. I remember the Ush Bucks. I remember all of this. He's been literally marketing himself. He was literally marketing himself for the Super Bowl for those 2 years, even outside of the residency. Of course, the residency was like the pinnacle of it, but a lot of things accompanied that, along with the album, along with the social media presence, along with just engagement for who Usher is as a legend,
and hit records hit records in the meantime.
Yes,
like, because the thing about Wayne, now if we just get to Wayne and what he hasn't been doing the past 2 years, he hasn't been putting on good performances. And I was just like, okay. Now, social media did its research, do your thing, Twitter, and Twitter did its thing,
right.
So we see videos from WrestleMania where it was horrible. We discussed the SNFest stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
Which didn't equate to necessarily a good performance. And it's kind of like y'all are championing, and I love the Hot Boys, so it's like, don't take this as a slight. But y'all wanted them niggas to get together for the Super Bowl. I ain't know we like them like that. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I'm a cash money millionaire. But let's be, hey, like, what are y'all talking about?
Facts.
Like, y'all want to get them on the biggest stage in the world to do a reunion where they can't even do it in fucking Essence Festival.
Facts. And
y'all couldn't get it together for Essence Fest. Okay, they might do it for Louisiana Fest. Cool. But I'm trying to get back to Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is just that I don't think that his performance has been up to par. Do I think he has a catalog to do a solo Super Bowl? Remains to be seen.
Debatable.
But could he do Lil Wayne's and Friends? Absolutely.
Let's take it a step further, right? You mentioned Wayne's performance not being the best the last few years.
Yep.
Total agreement, right? We're talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. It's exactly in the name. Wayne has to put on a show. It's not just a performance. It's okay to, again, I've seen some of the clips from Wayne's concerts recently. He even did the Amazon joint maybe a year and a half-ish ago, which was cool. He's not going to be able to stand there and just rap in the microphone. He has to put on an entire production. That's not something. I haven't been to a Wayne concert. Shit, I don't think ever. But from the clips that I've seen, I don't know if he has dancers and pyrotechnics and all these things that happen to put on a show. When Kendrick performed with Dre and them a few years ago, even the 2 or 3 minutes that he performed, he had 100 people synchronized dancing and all in costumes and all that. That's not something I've seen Wayne do before. Not saying that he couldn't do it now, but you have to have some type of something on your resume to show that can be done. And Kendrick just came off of a world tour where he did that. I watched the live in Paris of the tour. I wish I would have went in person because that shit was phenomenal. A whole 2.5 hours of literal performance. He rapping in the cage. He has 100 different dancers performing to all his songs. Like, Kendrick literally has the resume for this. On top of him having the type of year that he's had this year, he's the big name draw this year, and it's going to carry on. Probably being accompanied by an album at some point soon. So I think Kendrick literally deserves this at this time. And honestly, this is self-induced outrage. Ever since last year, or was it early this year, that it was announced that the Super Bowl was going to be in New Orleans, people just automatically assumed that it was going to be Lil Wayne to perform. That's y'all fault. That's y'all fault.
Well, I mean, do you think it's fair to think that, though?
And yes and no. I mean, it's New Orleans, so clearly, right? It's New Orleans, of course. We want the biggest store out of New Orleans to perform. I get it. But the powers that be, whoever makes these decisions, you can't automatically assume that they are going to make that decision. You can't automatically assume that.
That's true. The only reason is because it's precedent for it because of the LA show. The first time the LA has hosted a Super Bowl, and God knows when, we get Dr. Dre and Friends.
Yeah.
Everybody's not an LA native that perform, but it's Dr. Dre and friends. So that's why I guess that you can insinuate with Jay-Z being at the table with the NFL Entertainment Committee or whatnot, and then doing the and then having LA as a president. It's like, oh,
yeah,
it's kind of okay, give the people what they want. But the people don't know what they want.
The people never know what they want.
And like you just put, like, Kendrick has had a great year touring. Like, people, I think somebody gave him to performer of the year or something like that, because the show matched what that was. Like, he had a highest grossing tour, one of the highest grossing rap tours of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and then not to mention Amazon, like, all that stuff equates to numbers and the needle moving. Absolutely. So if that's what we're going off of, and the traction that Kendrick draws to certain platforms, all right, then I think it's a no-brainer. And like I still say here, like, Kendrick, I mean, Lil Wayne can get it. Like, I think he deserves it, but I don't think that just right now he's shown himself, proven himself to show that, because of the stage presence. Like, if we're going off that WrestleMania and them Louisiana performances and Essence Fest, oh no,
it's a no for me, dog.
No, it's a big no for me, dog.
Yeah,
like, come on, man. Like, we're going to reward that, and that's what people keep failing to realize. We're going to reward that.
Yeah,
like Wayne looks like a bad voodoo doll, like Cynthia doll from Chucky, like from
Rugrats, but New Orleans version.
Voodoo. You know what I'm saying?
Funny.
And we supposed to let him get on stage talking about, and I'm not even gonna get into the bag of like disintegrating his lyrics. Like, I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
You know
of course.
Like, because people have been doing that the past few days, and I don't like that shit either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's not tear in the catalogs, because we know who Wayne. We still admire Wayne for who he is, but let's not get it twisted. We know what those songs were talking about.
Oh,
so don't sit here and act like he can't get up there and perform it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And we know what songs he go perform. Like, none of the mixtape shit y'all niggas keep talking about
right.
is gonna get played. He gonna get Mirror from Bruno Mars and some other shit.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
You know, and I'm not saying like Mirror is not a good song, but it's gonna be part of it.
But when you're broadcasting to the world, like, this is not an Amazon Prime B-sides. Like, this is
FCC gonna have a field day.
Man,
try to kind of beat that shit.
and let's say this. Let's say Wayne did get it, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes up there and does not give a good performance. Y'all are going to shit on him. Like,
listen, people shit on Usher's performance, and I thought the performance was
I thought his performance was great. It was great.
People got to find something. They saying something about Usher. If Usher couldn't get up there and do it right,
it's crazy.
I don't know what the fuck y'all think. And if y'all on the same side of the fence, I don't know how y'all think Wayne go get up there and do it.
That's what I'm saying.
But nobody's talking, and I don't think, and it's kind of unfair to Kendrick, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of the backlash that he's been getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he beefed with y'all King, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? The consensus thinks that he won, and that's okay too.
Right.
So,
right.
But him having the summer that he did, or just a year, you know what I'm saying? Just he's gonna get up there and do a good job on Black History Month.
Absolutely. We've seen countless amazing performances from Kendrick Lamar. What's going to stop him recently? I mean, recently and in general. So what's going to stop him from producing a great performance now? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Nothing. So the backlash, especially from those that have bigger platforms and than us, like Nicki Minaj speaks out, Birdman speaks out, Cameron speaks out, everybody, Juvenile speaks out, Lil Wayne speaks out.
Yep.
Like,
again, even with the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing with these other celebrities that's been speaking out.
Mm-hmm.
It's self-induced outrage. Like, for everybody to automatically think that Lil Wayne would get it, I mean, to a degree, I understand, but again, you can't assume that it's going to be him, especially when he hasn't presented himself as a Super Bowl performing contender, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Nicki, let's see.
I don't think so. You really go try and read that?
Okay, maybe not, because it's a lot. You see me scrolling through.
Not even that. It's just Nicki's
incoherent.
She talks like how Cam Newton types. Not doing that.
We're not doing that.
Not doing that.
But okay, so it sounds like some of the consensus around the backlash is that Jay-Z was the one that made the call for Lil Wayne to not perform. What do you think about that?
I don't think. Like it's like I don't, if Hov did something explicitly wrong, I would just say it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't think there's a snub here. I don't think there's a thing at play like, oh, I want to keep Lil Wayne off just because Nicki and Drake might get up there. Nigga, what? Like Nicki and Drake could do a Super Bowl halftime show because they have those type of hits.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
So why would I? You know what I'm saying? Like I want to keep a YMCMB reunion from happening on the Super Bowl. Like I don't think it's that deep.
I don't think it's that deep either.
Listen, yeah, like, and the people that are saying something, Nicki, I can't. Like she said, we're doing this to a black man. Like Kendrick isn't
black. Like, is it black?
Okay, that's strike one. Cam, like we know you always got a deep rooted thing against Jay. We're gonna push that aside. Birdman. Hey man, I know Miss Gladys tired of shit getting put on her name. My nigga, like you gotta relax, bro. You just like you can't sit here and be in nobody's corner when you just start paying Wayne last week.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that.
So I ain't. It's
we ain't
like
trying to hear that.
I ain't trying to hear that. So that kind of strikes three of them people down right quick. So it's kind of like, I mean, Juvenile didn't want to say he didn't want to say Jay-Z's name. He said I blame the city, or he said I blame the NFL. The NFL always go come to New Orleans, bro. Like the NFL go come to New Orleans, NBA go come to New Orleans if it's an All-Star game. The Final Four go come there. Like it's always going to be those big sporting entities that come to New Orleans because it is a tourist attraction. It's nothing to get anybody to come to New Orleans. Now, is it unfair to those people, the locals, the people that are really from New Orleans or really from Louisiana, to never reap the benefits of these big cultural events that keep happening in the city? Yeah, I think that is. But
go ahead.
Are we just gonna say that Lil Wayne deserves it for that one reason? Like, I mean, there's a myriad of reasons, but for that one,
yeah. Well, yes, the people are always going to pick the one glaring reason and stick with it. Of course they are. And this is the other thing. So I actually looked up who makes the decision on who performs at the Super Bowl. Ultimately, it's the city.
I know y'all niggas feel dumb.
It's the city that decides. So
listen, man. Like everybody wants to hate Hov and Beyonce. It always comes back to that. Like when it comes to stuff like this, it's easy.
Of course,
it's easy.
They always gonna pick the easy target to blame.
Yeah, I was like, y'all niggas just be loud and wrong for no fucking reason.
Loud and wrong, and they love it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then, not to mention, like people have pointed out, oh well, Hov paid his taxes and did all these things for him. Why would he stall his career the way that Baby stalled his career, where he couldn't release?
Yeah, see, look. And I don't know. Again, people just want something to be mad at. And again, I truly believe this was self-induced.
Yeah.
Self-induced, because for the betterment of a year, y'all have been saying that y'all wanted Wayne here when he might not have even been on the short list of people to perform. There's a list that goes to the city and they have to choose. He might not even been on that list. We don't know.
It's so disrespectful, man. I think it's disrespectful to Kendrick, one, seeing that he actually got the gig.
Right.
Is disrespectful to Wayne because people have been kind of coming at his catalog and discrediting what he's done for the culture too. And I don't know.
Two more questions and I'm done. One, do you think, I guess 2-part question to this first one. Do you think Kendrick would have brought Wayne out during his set?
No.
Okay, well, that
because the one song they got is not a song I'm trying to hear.
They ain't trying to. Yeah, that's true.
Ain't nobody trying to hear Mona Lisa. People keep saying that, like Mona Lisa. I'm like,
and no. I was trying to think about if they had any other songs together, and they don't.
They don't.
And Mona Lisa's not getting performed at the Super Bowl.
That's one of the better songs on Carter 5. But come on, man.
Wayne even said himself he don't know the lyrics to the song. He said that in interviews, so he's never going to perform it.
And then that Wayne, they ain't the only thing Wayne said in interviews either. But yet.
Big facts.
We going to listen. Y'all research that.
Big facts.
Y'all research that.
Okay, last question. Do you think this whole outrage thing from Wayne and everybody else, do you think it hinders him for performing at the Super Bowl in the future?
No.
I kind of disagree. I think if Wayne himself hadn't said anything, because he put out a bullshit statement, I'm not gonna lie to you. If he hadn't said anything himself, I feel like it wouldn't hinder it. But I think because he said something, I don't think it would eliminate him altogether, but it may push it back another few years.
Yeah, and then I think the pushback to Kendrick actually being on the bill is because the next two Super Bowls are in Cali. The first one in San Francisco. The next one's going to be in LA.
Okay.
So that's another reason as to, I guess, this outrage. Nobody knew that shit until they started.
Right.
Nobody
Right.
really knew that. But
Exactly.
but whatever.
And who's to say Wayne would not have been able to perform at one of them? Like anyway.
Anyway, but I don't know. Okay, it's easy to kind of lose sight of this. We can go back to the Kendrick Lamar song.
Yeah.
But the outrage about something that's NFL based, and then you have something that's very serious that happened in the NFL, where you had the face of the Miami Dolphins wrongly arrested, like threw on the ground, like pretty much be a victim of police brutality, and the video is out there for public consumption. It's there. But nobody's talking about Tyreek Hill. Everybody's concerned about Lil Wayne and Kendrick and the halftime show about a game that's going to happen in February of 2025. Johnny, Tyreek Hill was arrested outside of Dolphin Stadium, treated utterly crazily by Miami's finest, quote unquote. What do you think about that?
Extremely nasty situation. Reading up on it a little bit more. Apparently Tyreek Hill was like speeding and he got a ticket for like a seatbelt violation or some bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Now, whatever the law is in Florida, don't speed, wear your seatbelt. Cool. I get that. I get being pulled over for that, right? Cool. But this overzealous ass police officer being super extra, as we see so much throughout the country, right?
Yeah.
So much throughout the country. When all he had to do was issue Tyreek Hill whatever ticket he needed to issue for the seatbelt violation and for speeding. It's literally does not take that long, right? To issue whatever ticket needs to be issued. But because Tyreek Hill didn't want to roll his window all the way down, and they say he wasn't cooperating, and it's just insane the types of situations that I'm just gonna say black men go through when we get pulled over by police. It's insane. Yeah. It is literally insane. And for it to happen to somebody of Tyreek Hill's stature and celebrity, to bring, I guess, more awareness to it, because we're aware of it, but bring more awareness to it is just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. We're here again, right? And this ain't nobody that's on the end of the bench. He ain't no third string, he ain't no practice squad. He is arguably he is the face of the Dolphins. He's the best player on the team. He's more famous than the quarterback, and he's a receiver. The fact that he got pulled over near the stadium, okay, it happens. I'm not saying, and I'm not going to give concessions to football players or famous people just because they're famous.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm gonna probably go shoot him a little bail, because it's kind of like, okay, his reasoning for saying that he didn't want to roll his window down, he didn't want to draw attention to himself.
Yeah, and which makes sense.
Which makes sense. Like, you're getting another unsavory headline just for like, oh, I got a traffic violation outside the stadium. Nobody needs to know this.
Yeah,
just roll my window up, write the ticket, bro. But the fact that you can't take this black man talking to you crazy, and when I seen white people do it for less,
man, what for real?
Like less.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, that type of energy. So the fact that happened, and he got yanked out of his car, threw on the ground, knee in his back. Handcuffed, then escorted to the curb. His teammates, like, because this is game day, we're going to the stadium. Tyreek got arrested. Let me see if I can help diffuse situation. And Calais Campbell, one of the offensive linemen, big man, massive guy, talking about 6'4", 6'6", 3 something, right?
That shit
offensive line, big guy. They arrested him too, because he got too close. So now you got everybody arrested. Everybody's handcuffed when I pulled up and I'm trying to be the gentle giant. So being a large man, I ain't 6'6", but I know what it's like to be large, and you have to check your emotions at the door.
Yeah,
because you don't get the opportunity to be upset when you're large like that. And you talking about a massive amount of men, they don't see nothing but target practice. So that's how I imagine Calais Campbell tried to handle it, but he still found himself in cuffs. And then the way they still treated Tyreek Hill when he was standing with his hands handcuffed, and they was like, "Oh, sit down." And yanked him down. He's like, hey, he's like, the fact that he's from Georgia, I think, and he's like, hey, twin, like it's just that's not funny.
I'm sorry,
but it's like, hey, twin, like I just had surgery on my leg. But it's still, but all this shit was unwarranted. Of course, the cop is on administrative leave or whatever the fuck that means. But
imagine if all of this excessive force, right, caused some type of injury to Tyreek Hill where he wasn't able to play for, let's just say, a few weeks or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Do you want the ramifications of that to to not only the Dolphins organization, but shit, the city of Miami? Like, people go to the games to see Tyreek Hill score touchdowns. If he's not playing, do you know how many millions of dollars the Dolphins lose because one overzealous ass cop wants to exert his authority? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to, I don't know, man. It's shit is stupid. Like it's really dumb.
Not to okay, I'm sorry, because now I'm getting mad again. Not to mention this same cop. It's always like these types of situations that happen that are brought to light always involve a cop that has a lot of infractions against him. Like this cop has a lot of these things on his rap sheet, like a lot of these same types of things in his reports. Like he does this all the time. Why is he still a police officer? Like that's something that I don't understand. If this happens, hell, even one time, but if it happens multiple times, why is he still allowed to? Why is he not on traffic? No, not even traffic duty. Why he ain't in a mall cop or something?
I was about to say technically
that's what this is, right? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But why is he not like behind a desk just doing paperwork? Like, why is he actually out on the streets policing? Like, it doesn't make sense.
And what's so crazy is we don't have to bring race into it when it comes to the cops, because the cops do this, right? He wasn't white. He wasn't a white. Those weren't white cops.
That's crazy. Oh, that's
so
crazy.
That's the other part. You know, I'll let y'all research what that was. You know, but it's interesting because people always get on ESPN about sticking to sports.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, it's interesting to talk about an athlete when he gets arrested for some shit that he did do wrong. Let's talk about when the police fucked up.
Yeah. Now let's do it.
Now we got to talk about race. Now we got to talk about social economical politics. We got to talk about classism. We got to talk about all those things that y'all swear y'all hate, and y'all just want to come and see how many touchdowns this man scored.
Right.
But he still has, when he takes that jersey off, he still wears his skin.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
man. Do we have okay, now I'll ask this.
Yeah.
Now Kendrick Lamar dropped the song. I don't even know the name of the song.
It's untitled. There's no title.
Okay.
There's no title.
Because it's not on DSPs, it's only on Instagram.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for that track?
I have a few things here.
Okay.
First of all, listening to this untitled song, Kendrick is fed up. He fed up with everybody. He fed up with women, men, the culture, Drake. He fed up with everybody. That's like the main thing that I took from the song. What's refreshing, and I think we kind of alluded to this during the battle between him and Drake. Kendrick is able to produce so many different types of rap. It's kind of insane, right? And be successful at it, because a lot of people try to do a lot of different types of rap, and they're not as successful. So to be able to get introspective Kendrick, party Kendrick, rapidy rap Kendrick, boom bap, like to get all these different versions of Kendrick in the same year, because we usually don't get Kendrick for like 3, 4, 5 years. So to get all of these in the span of 6-ish months, phenomenal. And I'm here for it. I guess I just want to get to some of the lines in this song, because I feel like there's a lot of some cryptic messaging, some not so cryptic messaging. Like it's kind of insane, right? So throughout the song, he mentions that he thinks it's time for the party to die, or he's waiting for the party to die. And by party, I think he means like rap culture, where he wants it to die so it can be built back up the way that I guess he sees fit.
Yeah.
So that I feel like that's kind of interesting. He mentioned having to walk that man down that did everybody a solid, which of course I think that alludes to Drake.
Mhm.
Let's see what else. And this one was personally great for me. He asked God to keep the lames away, because that's definitely how I feel. Keep the lanes away at all times. But the one thing I wanted to mention, the one thing I wanted to talk to you about is he has a bar, right, and the next bar is just completely blanked out.
Okay.
And I want to know, I guess, do you have any thoughts on it? Do you think you know what he said in it? Like, why do you think he blanked it out? So he says, I want to be empathetic in my heart like D1, but I will blank.
Well, I think that's just a play in the song, because D1 all prophetic and all nice and fake preachy and all that shit. So he's just like, I hate D1, so don't get me started.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
But I think he's trying to say that I want to be like this, but instead I'm gonna do, and it's just a play in the song.
So you don't think if there's anything that he said there?
Nah.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like how you watch battle rap and they say something, but the bar is coming, so you don't even have to say it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like one of them.
Okay. So he's letting us fill in what we think he would say.
Yeah. I don't want to give Kendrick that, but I ain't thinking that is that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did this. No, I don't think it's that deep. That's just me. That's just how I interpret that line.
Okay, I feel you.
Mhm.
Then the last thing, which I thought was pretty interesting,
Mhm.
he said they wonder why I'm not enthused to drop. The more visible you are, the more your spiritual is tried. Which, I mean, very prophetic, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting that he said that in a year where he's been the most visible in a very long time outside of touring. So I guess I don't want to say I'm confused by it. I mean, it makes sense, but to say that type of line in a year where he's had one of the most visible years in his career.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was real interesting.
No. I mean, no, it's a good song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think it was kind of like a Euphoria type of, like, it's just layered. It's just stuff you got to sit with. I wish it was on DSPs, because I only listened to that song one time. I'm not going back. Like, I'm not going to Instagram and listen to a 5-minute song anytime I want to listen to it.
I think I listened to it about 3 times. 3 times, because I wanted to write some of the lines.
Was it consistent? Like, did you listen to it back to back?
Oh, no, not back to back.
Oh,
No. Oh yeah, no. No, it was three different times.
I don't have that in me. Like, it's got to be there for my hit play. Like, I want to hear it in the whip. Like, I want to hear it in the gym. Like, I ain't got time to go to. That's just me. Me.
No, I feel you.
I'm lazy, bro.
Well, what I will say, listening to that kind of makes me want to go back and listen to Meet the Grams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I only listened to that like once or twice when it came out, just because it kind of did something to my soul. It was a little dark. It was a little dark, but I feel like this Untitled song is somewhat of a lighter version of that.
Mm-hmm.
But Meet the Grams was a phenomenal diss track though. Like, that shit was great. So I agree.
Yeah. It's just how people. I hate one thing about this beef. It's just expose how many goofs are out there.
Oh, absolutely.
You can objectively just rate certain things and just enjoy certain things. Like I said, and like I've always stated, I am probably just as much of an Aubrey Angel as some of y'all niggas, but it's just I don't let that cloud my judgment when it comes to him and his music.
And that's the thing, and that's the thing, right? So many people they allow their feelings toward the individual just cloud their judgment when it comes to things outside of the music, which is crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But hey, man, Blur segment real quick. We go talk about this when we get up out of here, man. Beyond the Spiderverse has been delayed to 2027. Johnny, what you got to say about the second part of this film being delayed?
This shit is stupid. It's stupid. Into the Spiderverse came out last year.
Yeah.
Last year?
Yeah. Part 2 was supposed to come out this year.
It was supposed to come out in March. And they delayed it. Whatever the reason for the delays are now is like, I guess I'm really upset, because I thought they were working on both of them together. Like, I thought it was almost ready to go. I thought it was just needed to be mixed and mastered.
That's how, yes, you're right. That's how they kind of marketed.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like Infinity War, Endgame, Matrix 2 and 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we coming back. We spinning the block
back to back.
We spinning the block.
Absolutely.
And now, granted, how long it takes to make those animated films, they tell you one thing, and it takes a long time. But I don't think it's necessarily on the creators of the film when it comes to the animation portion, that voice actors. I don't think it's that. I think it's Sony. I think it's all on Sony. This is the only thing that y'all can get right.
Right. No, fact.
This is the only thing that's Sony led. That's only y'all, and y'all get it right.
And you know what? Seeing this how it's been a lot of back and forth with Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland Spider-Man, which I believe is supposed to come out in 2020. Actually, next year. Does it come out next year?
Hell no.
Okay, 26. 26.
It's supposed to come out in between the Avengers films.
So with that being said, it's like I guess it would make sense for them to push this back to 27 unless they were to put it out this year, which they were supposed to do anyway.
I don't think it makes sense because none of that, like, if you're just trying to capitalize on Spider-Man being completely outside, maybe you put 2 Spider-Man films out in 1 year, yes. But they have no connectivity. There's no crossover. There's no Miles Morales go, at the end be on some Roger Rabbit shit, just be in, from animated to live action. Like, it's just like, oh, oof. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. So this is just the ending to a great trilogy, but y'all fumbled. Okay, let me ask you this, because I think we kind of understand what the film is and how long it takes to make it. But do you think that they're fumbling the anticipation for the film?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because when it's time for the movie, when it's time for them to start their marketing campaign for this, all of the momentum they had from Into the Spider-Verse is gone. Like, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. So they have to, I feel like they might have to work double time to build back up the anticipation. Like, when we see it, of course, because we locked in, but to the somewhat casual up into the people that are almost deep into the Sony Spider-Verse, like that marketing gonna have to hit. It's gonna have to hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, this ain't the only movie franchise that's suffering from it too. But I mean, this is something that we like. But I mean, if you want to use Mission Impossible, they're waiting on their part 2. You got Fast X or Fast 11, which is a part 2.
Yeah.
So that Hollywood strike shit kind of hurt everybody. But yeah, like that was the gamble that y'all did, just rolling the dice on doing a part 2, which I don't care. I mean, them 2 is just like whatever. But that, I'm waiting on that.
I know.
I'm waiting on that.
In a time where we talked about at the beginning of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Where movies in general tend to be downtrending.
Yeah.
You gotta put your heat out if it's ready. Now, on the flip side of this whole conversation, if it ain't ready,
I don't think it was ready.
If it ain't ready,
I think they got it ahead of themselves, and then the writer strike did happen.
I'll take everything I said back.
Then, like you said, like those animation styles, like that whole 80s, 89 Spider-Mans fighting each other. Like I imagine that takes a lot of time. I mean, I know this ain't 1933 when they was writing shit in flip books and stuff, but somehow it seems like animation still takes a long time if it's going to be good.
But which is why I thought it took them the 4 years between the first and the second one, because I thought they was doing both at the same time.
And then you got to find, you got to let Metro cook up the joints for the second. I'm just finding reasons.
No, that's facts, because Metro did his thing with that soundtrack. He did. So
okay,
that's crazy.
Last thing, and then obviously we out of here.
Yes, sir.
Agatha and the Penguin come out this week. Are you excited? Are you big deal, little deal, or no deal at all?
Definitely excited about the Penguin.
Okay. Like big deal? Big deal for that? Because the Batman 2 don't come out to 27.
True.
Or 26. 26. No, next year.
No, I think come on, Nick.
No, it's 26.
It's 26.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking about Superman.
They ain't even started.
You right.
Principal photography and filming on that shit.
I'm thinking about
DCEU stuff.
Yeah. Superman and Fantastic Four come out next year. Mm-hmm. And they trying to make both of them come out on the same day. In July.
There's a lot of stuff come out in like it's like 3 of them that come out. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but but no, I think I'm like really, really excited for the Penguin, because it's a direct spinoff of the Batman.
Yeah.
Which this show takes place a week after the Batman ends.
Yeah.
And then the Penguin ends a week before Batman 2 was supposed to start. Like
Okay.
in that order of the franchise. So I think that's dope as hell.
Yeah.
Like the Penguin goes into the winter, into Christmas, and then that's where the Batman picks up.
But
with the Penguin being like a mob story, right? Like we know it's a part of the Batman universe, but it doesn't feel like it, if it makes sense. It feels more of like a mob TV show. And then again, we talked about this before, but the Penguin as a character, right? Oswald Cobblepot, all he wants is just to be respected as like a criminal underlord. And that's what it's like. It seems like they're capturing that particular trait of the character really well, at least from the trailers.
Yeah.
So to see that, it's like, okay, this is fire. This is super fire.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that.
Okay.
Really excited for that.
Agatha? No.
Agatha, I mean, I randomly watched the episode of WandaVision the other day. Don't ask me why or how. But to see, and it was the episode where it was revealed that Agatha was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes.
all along.
I was like, hold on. I remember us giving WandaVision high praise because it was a great show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like actually seeing it again was like, oh damn, this shit was really fire. So it's kind of heightened my excitement a little bit because at first I was like, I mean, I'm gonna watch it, but but going back and actually reviewing, it's like, oh damn, now this shit might be kind of cold.
Yeah, I didn't go back and watch that, but I think from the Comic-Con stuff, kind of like, oh, I can see what y'all doing here.
See.
And then like the trailers, I was like, all right, I'm falling for the trailers. And then the Comic-Con panels, and they was out there singing Hocus Pocus and shit. I'm telling you, bro, like it was a big production.
Listen, the marketing plan, man, the marketing be working sometimes.
Listen, I was like, okay. And then it's getting ready to go into fall and Halloween. So it's like, okay.
I think the series ends around Halloween. Like
Halloween is on a Thursday.
So I think it ends around that time.
Okay.
Like, that's fine.
And then, I mean, much can be said about these not the DC, the Marvel cinematic like shows, like the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, that remains to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
The Penguin, I think I'm excited for it because it is a mob story. I think, it's going to be very well written, and the fact that you have the director of the movie doing the show, I think it's going to only show Marvel that they need to kind of step their game up. And I heard they go do a lot of quality control when it comes to that Disney Plus stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
But I think if I had to pick one, you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely going to go with the Penguin just for right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to watch both, but the Penguin is definitely what's going to I think my interest is up for that.
Got you.
For sure.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, clearly,
yeah, man,
we have reached the end of our docket. Johnny, what you got for him, brother?
Listen, if you're on YouTube, we appreciate you for rocking with us this long. Hit that comment section. Let us know about any of the topics that we discussed today.
Yes, sir.
Hit that like button.
Yes, sir.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And we'll catch y'all next week. I'm just hitting up pause because we know y'all. We know y'all. If you're on audio, you know what time it is.
OS Song of the Week.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.